playing on court 1 here. You see the court to the left. Court 2 was in action yesterday, but not needed today. All the matches are going to be either on centre or here on court 1. Alexandrova will be back on this court later today. She's teaming up with Vivian Heissen of Germany. And together in the second round of the doubles, they'll be taking on Marta Kostyuk, whom Alexandrova beat in the first round of singles, and her partner, Teresa Martinsova. This is the only singles match on court 1 today. On centre courts, Martina Trevisan and Ekaterina Siniakova are going head-to-head. Martinsova will take on Elena Rybakina, who saved that match point yesterday. Anna Bogdan against Tamara Zhdanshek. A terrific forehand whip of the wrist. Both Slovenian women, Zhdanshek and Kai Juvan, came through with victories yesterday. Juvan's was particularly impressive over the seeded player Elise Cornet. And the final singles match on centre will be Christina Buxer against Beatrice Haddad-Maia. Haddad-Maia, the second seed from Brazil. Emma Raducanu is the top seed. She'll be back in action on Thursday. Oh, really good start here for Tsurenko. So far, early stages, of course, but doesn't seem to be suffering any ill effects of that 3-set encounter against Gabby Rusa in round 1. Win picking up slightly as she tries to convert this break point. And there she does. Nice chip return, just getting that ball deep in the centre. And it's a perfect start for Tsurenko, 33-year-old veteran from Ukraine, who says she's become a lot better at keeping events at home out of her mind on court now. Everything in her life and many others changed in February. She's made her semi-permanent home in northern Italy, the academy of the very famous coach there, Riccardo Piatti. Former coach, of course, of the likes of Novak Djokovic and Yannick Sinner, amongst many, many others. It's a good place for Tsurenko to train. As for Alexandrova, she lives and trains in Prague in the Czech Republic. Moved there when she was younger. Better training facilities, she said, than at home. Alexandrova trying to break back right away here. She's had a bit of an up and down season so far. 27 wins, 7 of which have come on hard courts, 15 defeats. She's won a title, second on the grass of Hertogenbosch. Also got to the semi-finals of both Madrid and Charleston on the green clay. But her other 13 campaigns have ended in the first or second round. So she hasn't really managed to find that consistency, but when she gets hot, she really gets hot. Hard player to beat. Playing a little bit passive in the rally there, Alexandrova. You expect her to go for a bit more, especially on that mid-court ball. Back from the 30 to 30 all. Alexandrova not quite getting the racket drop on the backhand. Does hit a flat ball. Oh, it was a clever point from Tsurenko, getting Alexandrova on the move. Stretch out wide to her right, but can't quite find the forehand down the line. So it will be a break point here for the 5th seed. And a chance to level things up. Too long on the return. That chance wiped away. Oh, it's an excellent point for both players. Tsurenko coming up with the winner. And now she has a chance to consolidate the break. Tsurenko having had just terrible draws in the majors this year. It really couldn't have got much worse. She managed to qualify in Australia, won 3 rounds, which is incredibly difficult. So then had to face the top seed Ash Barty in round 1. Got just a game off the eventual champion. Oh, it's absolutely superb. A second winner back-to-back. And Tsurenko has a 2-love lead. Fabulous play from the 33-year-old. Just such a good tennis IQ, doesn't she? So clever. Doesn't necessarily hit the ball hard, but puts the ball in the corners, changes the pace, the angles, the height of the ball. Important to ensure that Alexandrova doesn't get the same ball twice. She's very much a rhythm player. Winners coming from all angles. Tsurenko's bad luck after the Australian Open followed at Roland Garros, where she once again qualified, won 3 matches, and then got the #1 seed once more. This time it was Iga Swiatek. Got just 2 games off the Polish player, who went on to win, of course, her 2nd title in Paris, and now has 3 majors to her name, having won the US Open. Congratulations to Iga. At Wimbledon, Tsurenko had a couple of wins, beat Jodie Burridge, the local favourite, and then the seeded player, Angelina Kalinina, fellow Ukrainian. Oh, what a terrific point. A couple of excellent drop shots. Tsurenko starting it and finishing it as well. Just lightning fast, isn't she? In great shape. Tsurenko ended up losing in the round of 32 at Wimbledon to Jule Niemeyer, the young German who had such a breakout tournament. And at the US Open, Tsurenko was drawn in the first round against Paula Badosa, the 4th seed. Lost that one 6-3 in the 3rd set. So certainly tricky draws in the first rounds and second rounds of majors. But overall, she'll be pretty pleased with her form, I think. Important for her to keep herself in the top 100. That's the holy grail, of course, of tennis, where you do get direct main draw entry. Oh, it's a huge forehand, Alexandrova. Seems to be struggling a little bit here. She's done that a few times, just bending over. Another good forehand. Really has a nice loose forearm and wrist on that shot to create the angle. And a point to get on the board. Double fault. Conditions here a little bit tricky. Slightly more wind than there has been in the previous 2 days. Looks like there's something not quite right with Alexandrova. Lesya Tsurenko certainly won't worry about that. She's got another chance to break. Having hit a double fault, it's now an ace from Alexandrova. She does have that ability. There were 7 breaks from each player in her match against Marta Kostyuk on Monday. Happy to serve down the tee. Now, it looks like 27-year-old does need to shorten the points here. Perhaps struggling in the humidity. She'll take that. Alexandrova fighting off that break points. She's on the boards. It's Tsurenko, though, with a 2-1 lead. While Lesya Tsurenko looks fresh as a daisy, having played a 3-hour match yesterday. Ekaterina Alexandrova looks to be struggling here in the conditions. She played on Monday, also a 3-setter. Clearly not feeling her best. Had a little bit of a word with the umpire, Thomas Sweeney, on the way to the change of ends. Shook her head when looking at her father and coach, Yevgeny. Did manage to hold serve, though, the 5th seed. Was broken in her opening service game. Tsurenko has a 2-1 advantage here. Alexandrova hasn't played too much recently. Had 2 months off after winning her Togenbosch. Was banned for Wimbledon and then had a bit of a wrist injury. So she's won, before this tournament, 4 matches in her last 4 events, beaten by Lauren Davis at the US Open in a 3rd set tiebreaker. Having played in New York, she'll be used to the humidity. Slightly different conditions here. There's, of course, making the trip to Slovenia. We're here on the Adriatic coast. Well, it was a good move from Tsurenko. First time we've seen her volleying. Slightly too much follow through. Wind just picking up there. You can see how much by the umbrellas on the left. Be too surprised if one of those goes flying at some point. Alexandrova not moving up to the backhand. But it does get windy. You've got to make those last adjustments, little steps with the feet, get in place. Well, this time she absolutely makes sure of the forehand volley. Another winner, and a 3-1 lead. Tsurenko has had her best run really recently in the last few months, a couple of quarterfinals. First one came at Eastbourne on the grass where she qualified. Beat Kimberly Burrell and Heather Watson in qualies before taking out Camilla Osorio, Elena Rybakina, who went on, of course, to win at the All England Club. Also overcame Magda Linette. After those 5 wins, felt like she couldn't play. Beatrice Haddad-Meyer, the then 15th seed, withdrew from the quarterfinal encounter. And a similar thing happened in Budapest. She beat Carolina Alves in the first round. And then came that lengthy 3-hour 53 match against Kamila Rakimova, which was at the time the 7th longest in Open era history. And also the longest match of the year. It's since been beaten by a few minutes. But it took it all out of Tsurenko, and she retired when down 6-love, 2-love against Yulia Putintseva in the final 8 match. So she's already had a tough encounter here. We want to try and get through this one nice and fast. All their previous matches, the previous 3 that Tsurenko's won, have come in straight sets. Last of which was on outdoor or indoor hard in Linz. Oh, superb from Alexandrova. Nice little change of pace. No, it's got to be good if Tsurenko can't get a racket on it. So really well taken backhand return from Tsurenko. Got herself in a good position there. Alexandrova really struggling to win points behind the second serve. Just 3 of 9 thus far. And that's another beauty. Alexandrova's got to try and do a little bit more with that second serve. Tsurenko so far having a field day with it. The other option is, of course, to try and get that first serve percentage up nice and high. More good work from Tsurenko, pushing Alexandrova back into the court, making sure she can't dictate. And from 40-15 back to deuce. Did have a break point on the Alexandrova serve in the last game out, and of course broke in the first game. One is long. So it'll be break point chance number 3. And that helps. The first serve in play. It's a thunderous serve. Beautiful placement. And a chance to just keep in touch here. That's what Alexandrova needs to do. The way she plays, she can break at any time. Oh, beautiful ripper. And she knew exactly when she hit the ball how good it was, moving in behind it, just in case Alexandrova was to get a racket on it. Oh, it's absolutely terrific from Tsurenko. It started off with that excellent return. Guided the ball back in play at full stretch. Her 7th winner and a second breakpoint chance. Well, it's called in. I think Tsurenko thought the ball was wide. She was walking to the bench thinking she'd broken again. But Tom Sweeney does not agree. So back to deuce. That one will go long. You can see Tsurenko just pulling off the forehand. Alexandrova fighting hard here just to stay in the conversation. That one is long. So very, very good hold for Alexandrova. A much needed one. Tsurenko still in charge, though. She's got the break and a 3-2 lead. Well, the physio has been on, in fact, 2 of them, just to check out how Ekaterina Alexandrova is feeling. It appears to be something with the stomach. It's not an injury. It's been clear from her actions that she's not 100%. Here we go, though. Tsurenko serving a 3-2. She's got the break in hand. First serve percentage a little bit too low. Tsurenko is running a good percentage behind both first and second serve, particularly the second. Up to this point, 1-5 of the 7 points she's delivered. That number will reduce now slightly. Ekaterina Alexandrova thought she'd won the point a little bit earlier, but the ball from Tsurenko must have hit the very, very back of the line. Oh, it was tough. The net tape taking all the pace out of the ball. Tsurenko had options. The 8th winner. Oh, it's terrific from Alexandrova, really lining up that backhand down the line. Tough point. Both players working extremely hard. Really does hit all the way through the ball, doesn't she? On both forehand and backhand, Alexandrova keeps the ball on the strings for a nice long time. And that one's slightly long, so it'll be another game point for Tsurenko. Alexandrova not quite getting the right contact. She is looking to win multiple matches on this surface for the first time since October. Alexandrova, as I mentioned earlier, has done well on the other surfaces though. The red clay of Madrid, the green clay of Charleston, and of course that title in the Netherlands. Oh, what a return. She was alert to the danger as well. It's definitely a player that gets hot and cold. When she's hot, she is absolutely boiling. As in the past, had trouble getting over the line sometimes. It was a set and 4-1 up against Annette Contevet in a final last year. Ended up losing it, just got a bit nervous, a bit tight. Her game doesn't do well when she's like that. Needs to stay nice and loose. So the break has been pulled back. Alexandrova back on terms. That was a much better game. 1 break apiece, 3 games all. Alexandrova definitely has more firepower of the two. Tsurenko, the one that's difficult to break down. Such a consistent player. That was an unusual unforced error. Tries to keep those to an absolute minimum. Tsurenko has 2 more titles than her opponent today at 4. Last one coming the 2018 Acapulco events. Tournament she's actually won twice, back to back. Winner of the title in Guangzhou in 2016, and her first title came in Istanbul 2015. Too good from Alexandrova. Big first serve. Just slightly pulling the backhand. Back to 30 all. It's important to keep your head still on that shot. Tsurenko doing a good job of pulling Alexandrova wide. It's long, not quite enough spin from Tsurenko. And a chance here for Alexandrova to take the lead for the first time in this match. It's long on the return. And that's 2 games on this side for Alexandrova. She has a 4-3 lead. the wind continues to increase here. It's going to make life serving for Lesya Tsurenko a little tricky. 3-4 with the new balls. Tsurenko's first double fault. Followed up by a beautiful forehand winner. Had a 3-1 lead in this set, so he's to try and gain back some momentum here. Slightly missing on that forehand. There's been a few of those going long. Got to continue to make those small adjustments. Never going to play the perfect match. That one goes long as well. So now it's Tsurenko hunched over. That was how Alexandrova spent some of the first 3 games. Alexandrova with 2 chances to break at a crucial time in the set. Oh, she's missed another forehand. That shot has just deserted her. And that's 4 games now in a row for Alexandrova. Serving for this first set at 5-3. As the wind picks up once more, Tsurenko being quite careful with that first forehand. Did enough to earn another short one. Ten winners now for the 33-year-old. And a good start to this game. And making it tricky for both servers. Alexandrova fires in her 4th double fault. And Lesya Tsurenko will have 3 more breakpoint chances. Broken the first game, had a breakpoint in the 2nd Alexandrova serve, and in the 3rd. Oh, it's a beauty, a whip forehand. That shot has let her down, but not on that occasion. Break of serve for Tsurenko. And now she will serve to stay in the set at 4-5. Well, Ekaterina Alexandrova had the trainer on earlier in the set. Like she was having stomach problems. And then Lesya Tsurenko's just had the trainer on. Put some drops in her eyes. So that's all going on here. 5th seed made a remarkable comeback from 1-3 down. Served the set at 5-3. Couldn't get it done, broken to love. So now it's Tsurenko's chance in the windy conditions to try and stay in the set. Needs to try and get this first service percentage up right now. Landed 13 of 27. Below optimum level. Tsurenko has had a lot more success though behind the 2nd serve than Ekaterina Alexandrova has. But the 5th seed has been doing better behind the 1st delivery. Oh, a lucky net cord. Tsurenko will take it. And that is a wayward forehand. Ekaterina Alexandrova, well, you can tell how she feels about that by her body language. Shoulder slump. Tsurenko, 2 chances to tie this up. That one goes wide. Tsurenko just content to play that first serve in rather than put any pace behind it. Got the benefit of mixing it up. 5 games all. So both players with too many unforced errors compared to winners. And nothing between them. Oh, it's really well played from Alexandrova. You could just sense as the rally went on that she was starting to dictate. It was Tsurenko reaching and stretching and eventually wrong-footed. Tsurenko starts with a great return. This match keeps threatening to catch fire. Not quite there yet. Yeah, long forehand. Alexandrova knew as soon as she hit it. Slightly coming up on the ball. And an error from Lesya Tsurenko. So a deciding point here, really. Fairly all one of those turning points in the game. And a double fault that's coming at just the wrong time. It's number 5 for Alexandrova. It hands Tsurenko the chance to regain the momentum. She's done that a few times when really up against the wall. Alexandrova just delivered a big serve. Managed to save now 4 of 6 break points. And there's another double. Strange service game. This time Tsurenko will get the advantage of a second serve. What a fabulous second serve it was. Enjoying that one down the tee. Not moving the feet up to the ball. Quite a lot of frustration here. Can she fight off a third break point? Yes, she can, is the answer. Alexandrova served 8 double faults in the first set against Marta Kostyuk. Well, that's delightful, although Tsurenko didn't think so. Tom Sweeney just saying can't call from his position, relying on the linesperson there. So game point for Alexandrova. Be miraculous if she can hold here. But instead, it's a 7th double. Yeah, long. Both players being a little cautious, given the wind keeps picking up. Break point number 4. Well, this game will go on. We've had 3 double faults, 4 break points, 1 game point. And a lot of frustrated sighs, both players. Alexandrova cannot find a first serve. Oh. Oh, she was just a little bit passive with that short forehand, Alexandrova. Not going for too much, trying to place it rather than hit it. And gets penalised, pushed back. Not particularly happy at the net. Break point number 5. And that first serve percentage is plummeting. Just wide, so Tsurenko finally gets it done. Took her 5 chances. Will that be the deciding game? Tsurenko will serve for the set. But it won't be easy in these conditions. Lesya Tsurenko has been going through ice packs, trying to keep herself cool here. Needs to raise the tempo as she attempts to serve out this first set. It's been a topsy-turvy one. Tsurenko had a 3-1 lead. Alexandrova won 4 games in quick succession. Tsurenko broke back. And then broke again on her 5th break point in the previous game. That's where we find ourselves. The set ticking towards the hour mark. Return errors. And that means Lesya Tsurenko has 3 set points. Oh, a terrible game for Ekaterina Alexandrova. Quite the opposite for Tsurenko. She still has never lost a set to her opponent today. That's 7-0, and the first set in the bag for Lesya Tsurenko, 7-5. Second set to begin. Alexandrova's just taken a break. And perhaps we'll reset here. What's the first set? 7 games to 5 after being broken on the 5th attempt at 5-all. Then didn't make a return in that final game. So work here to be done for Alexandrova, who's played her opponent 3 times prior to this and lost all 3 in straight sets. Oh, it's just a delightful passage of play there for Tsurenko. A little slice moving away from Alexandrova. Tsurenko hit the inside of the ball slightly. Pulled the 5th seed off the court. Oh, this time it's Alexandrova with the delightful touch. Just misses it wide, doesn't quite catch the outside of the ball with their forehand. Alexandrova with a couple of chances here to get back on track. Got broken in the first game of the first set, so important for that not to happen again. Slightly wide. See both players having to make those last second adjustment steps just to cope with the wind, which picks up from time to time. Settle down a bit now. So from 40-15 to deuce. Alexandra has the body language that everything seems to be going against her today. Has hit 7 double faults. Just 1 ace. Neither player has found it easy to land first serves. Alexandrova had Tsurenko on the ropes there. Just couldn't find a way past the Ukrainian. It's great defensive skills. And Tsurenko with a break point. Yeah, good cover on the ball on that forehand. Made sure it went up and down. But she has broken again. Second straight sets. She's taken the Alexandrova serve this time from 15-40 down. So the fourth break for Tsurenko. Alexandrova has 2. This is how first set finished up, 67-minute affair. And Tsurenko with 10 break points, took 3 of them, 5 of those break points coming in the final Alexandrova service game. Tsurenko able to serve it out to love. Won 8 more total points and had by far the better of it behind the second serve. That was an area where Alexandrova really struggled. So Tsurenko very much on the front foot here with a set and a break. Tsurenko has a 7-7 record on hard courts this season. Grass has been her most successful surface. 9 wins out of 11 matches. Would have been interesting to see how she would have done against Beatrice Haddad-Maia on the Eastbourne grass. Didn't get to see that one. Tsurenko pulling out before the match began. Haddad-Maia will be in action on centre court later today. She's up against Cristina Buxa, the Spanish player who took out the wild card from Croatia, Petra Marcinko, just a 16-year-old. That was a 3-setter. Marcinko took the first set against Buxa, but has lost her way a little bit in the third set. Oh, well, that's just one of those things. The wind's really picking up. Tsurenko says so sorry. And it's a swing and a miss for Alexandrova. What else can go wrong for her today? Can she find it within herself to pick herself up? Get her out of this big hole. Playing on a career-high ranking of 24 is Alexandrova. Tsurenko's career high was 23 back in 2019. The Ukrainian currently at 92 in the world rankings. Not really a fair reflection of her ability. Alexandrova trying to step in, take the ball early. But it's a missed return and a hold for Lesya Tsurenko. 2-love, she leads. This set's very much repeating the first set. Just got up to that forehand approach in time. Almost let the ball drop a little bit too much. This time it's a routine volley. It's the tournament sponsor. Zavoronitsa Sava. Lesya Tsurenko's husband, Nikita Vlasov, in the background there, cheering her on. An unforced error from Alexandrova, though. Once again, not quite getting her feet in the right position. This time it's Tsurenko with the miss hit. These two last played in Linz last year on the indoor hard courts. Tsurenko getting the better of Alexandrova in the first round after qualifying. It's a close two-setter, 6-4, 7-6. A repeat score of when they first met at the Australian Open in 2019. Net court goes against Alexandrova. And this is serious trouble now for the fifth seed. Needs to get her feet up to that ball a little bit quicker. The wind is behind Alexandrova. That one's wide, so it's a double break for the Ukrainian. Now inching towards victory here, and a third quarterfinal of the season. Can Ekaterina Alexandrova get back on track here? We have had a few seeded casualties here at the Slovenia Open. Elise Cornet bundled out by Kai Yuvan last night on centre court. And Ayla Tomljanovic, of course, the victor over Serena Williams, bundled out at the first hurdle. The Australian beaten by Anna Bogdan in 3 sets. Bogdan will be in action later. She's going to take on Tamara Shidanshek, the Slovenian local. Tsurenko not having too much success with that forehand up the line from this side. Missing just wide on several occasions. Tsurenko again struggling with the wind. Double fault number 2. First set percentage still below the 50 mark. And Alexandrova has a little bit of light here. And break point saved. Two. 1540 back to deuce. Long, so it'll be a third chance here for Ekaterina Alexandrova to pull one break of serve back. And that one sails long. So Alexandrova gets her first game of the second set. That might give her a little bit of hope here. The consistency of this match definitely reflected by the weather conditions. The wind keeps picking up. You are right on the coast here. So easy to hit long from this side. Players need to keep the ball lower over the net or add more spin. Very good start to this game. Alexandrova keeping Tsurenko on the move. That's too good. Alexandrova doing the damage with the serve. Alexandrova chose the right way, in fact, but couldn't get anywhere near that excellent forehand. Well, it's called in. Tsurenko clearly saw it long. And to my eyes, it did also seem long. No call came. Thomas Sweeney, no overall, so it will stand. Ekaterina Alexandrova wins 2 games on that side of the court. And could be back in with a chance here. She's down 3-2. First 3 games went to Lesya Tsurenko in the second set. Second two have gone to Ekaterina Alexandrova. The Ukrainian still has one break in hand, though. Just wide. Tsurenko did well to get up to that ball. This nice touch once again from Alexandrova. When she's tried to mix things up, she's generally been successful. Just hasn't tried it quite enough. This is the side from Alexandrova is on. That ball can really fly, but she's caught that one perfectly. Doing well to keep the ball nice and low. Tsurenko loses the first 2 points. Oh, it's beautifully played once again from Alexandrova, showing that little burst of speed. A delicate touch for the second time in this game. The seed has earned herself 3 break points. That was some second serve. Tsurenko going for broke. Tsurenko fighting back hard here. One more break point to face. And that one is out as well. That's wide, so it'll be a 4th chance for Ekaterina Alexandrova to get back on terms. Beautiful shot into the corner there. Deep and with weight. So having fought off those 4 break points, Tsurenko now with a chance to get some breathing room here. Oh, a couple of really deep shots from Alexandrova, hitting right through the ball. One's out. The breakpoint chance number 5. And a double fault, would you believe it? Hands Alexandrova the break. And the game, 3 games all. So another roller coaster ride of a set. Can Alexandrova finally win a set against Lesya Tsurenko? That's a crackerjack of a forehand. That's that one absolutely spot on. Over from Tsurenko to pull. Fisted out wide to the forehand. Makes her have to go for a shot which she might not go for normally. Oh, she's missed it. Set up the point beautifully. Perhaps could have rolled that up the line. Alexandrova was hanging out in that forehand corner. Yeah, she's made that one as well. A couple of sparkling forehand winners in this game. And a chance for Alexandrova to take the lead. Once again, fighting back from 1-3 down. Oh, she's missed that one. A hold of serve for Ekaterina Alexandrova. 4 games in a row now. She leads 4-3. Second set. The momentum is with Lesya Tsurenko, or it was with. 3-love up and a set in hand. The Ukrainian 33-year-old has let it slip. And now fighting for the second set, 3-4. Oh, another chance for Ekaterina Alexandrova to put that forehand away. Again, a careful here. Not enough racket head speed. Not decisive enough, and it's an opportunity taken by Tsurenko. Good deep return, must have hit the very back of the line. Late call, but it's called wide. Tsurenko getting the chance here to level things up. And stop the run of her opponents. She did so much right there, Tsurenko. Going up the line a couple of times. Alexandrova keeps chasing them down. Tsurenko certainly keeping her emotions in check here. She was involved in a 3-hour, 53-minute battle in Budapest against Kamila Rakimova. It's the longest match of the year at the point. Since been beaten, and the 7th longest in the Open era. Managed to come through that one against the teenager. Oh, it's too good. Alexandrova, with good patience, just waiting her chance. This time comfortable with the short backhand. Back to deuce. There have been no easy games, no love holds. Alexandrova seeming a lot more comfortable with the short backhand than the short forehand. A short serve, and it's punished. Alexandrova here with a chance to win a 5th game in succession. And Tsurenko serves up a 4th double fault of the set. And now finds herself in big trouble here. Three breaks for the 5th seed and a chance to serve it out. Now, Alexandrova was up 5-3 in the first set as well. This set almost exactly the same as set one, scoring-wise. The only difference was Tsurenko took a 3-love lead in this second set, and it was 2-1 in the first set. Everything other than that has been the same. Oh, it's well played, Tsurenko, with the drive volley. Careful on the overhead, not easy to put those away. Easier, in fact, to miss them. Two minutes shy of the 2-hour mark. And there could be an awful long way to go. Oh, nails that forehand down the line. It's been a shot that she hasn't made too often. Going slightly wide. But this time, spot on from Tsurenko. Seems to be struggling. She's earned herself 3 break points with that beautiful forehand. Gets the break. And back on serve here. Try and hold to get back to 5-all. Ekaterina Alexandrova went on a run of 5 straight games in the second set. And she looked to take a set off Lesya Tsurenko for the first time in 4 meetings. Tsurenko broke back, so she's on track here now. But still with work to do. Alexandrova not sure that that ball on the right was in. Realised it was landing. Had to make those last-minute adjustments. So good start for Tsurenko here. And that's a good serve as well. Gets the return error. Alexandrova wants that ball back in play. The one that Tsurenko just missed wide on the forehand. Well, she's handed Tsurenko a real opportunity to get back here. And this long forehand, that's been the mistake from this side with the wind behind Alexandrova. Ball is flying on those players. Well played, Tsurenko. 2 games in a row. 5 games all. This set continues to track set 1. Alexandrova had a 5-3 lead. Back came Tsurenko. And at this point, Tsurenko broke on her 5th opportunity. Let's see if history repeats itself. Nikita Vlasov continues to support Lesya Tsurenko. We haven't heard too much from Yevgeny Alexandrov, father and coach of Ekaterina. That's a beauty forehand. Once again, great extension. A wonderful serve. That's where she's been going when she really needs a point, down the tee from the ad court. Now this time, she holds on to that lead in the service game. It's Alexandrova with a 6-5 advantage in the second set, having lost the first. 7 games to 5. Ekaterina Alexandrova has just had one of the easier service games of the match, held to 15. Now has a 6-5 lead here in the second set. So Lesya Tsurenko serving to stay in it, having won the first set. Oh, double fault. 2 errors here from Tsurenko. And in real danger here. It's a wide attempted pass. Oh, it's a fabulous point. Tsurenko with some excellent depth there, beautiful movement. Comes up with the whip forehand winner. 30 all. Well, that is exceptional. A wild mistake. 3 points on the trot. And a chance for Tsurenko to force the second set breaker. Oh, too good from Alexandrova. All began with that slightly careful serve from Tsurenko. Just trying to put it in, didn't try to do much with it. Was always under pressure. That's a good serve though. Second chance. Oh, how about that for a backhand? Coming up with the goods when she needs it most. Fewer arrows coming off that side. Mostly less that can go wrong on the backhand with the two hands. Double fault number 5. And set points for Ekaterina Alexandrova. It's wide and long. So easy just to drag that forehand wide when you're going up the line with it. And a third chance for Tsurenko to force a breaker. Should be hoping for a first serve here. Yeah, too careful on the second serve. It's getting that balance right. Already served up multiple double faults. Doesn't want to do that again, but also can't lay the ball short. So game point number 4. And she takes it. So we are going to a tiebreaker. At times it hasn't been pretty, but it certainly has been competitive. Both players giving it all they've got. 70 minutes, second set. First real sign of frustration from Tsurenko. Wants to get this done in 2. She worked so hard here. Real thrills and spills. Second set where she led 3-love. Lost the next 5 games. Came back beautifully. It's long. And Tsurenko Holds 1 service points, leads 2-1 in this breaker. On serve in the early stages. Alexandrova with a 28% success rate behind the second serve, 4 from 14. Oh, very well played point from Tsurenko, who was careful on the return of serve. Take the long route, the scenic route round that forehand. The ball moved so much in the air. Kept her eye on it, though. Just telling support camp just to calm down a little bit. 3-1, she leads. That is an excellent forehand winner. Can she hold on to the leads? It's been a very composed tie-break so far. 4 points in a row. Three points needed. Oh, that was a careful second serve. A 7th double of the set. No aces. And they change ends with Tsurenko up 4 points to 2. So it's going to be very much about who holds their nerve. Tsurenko seemingly coming to the easier side where the wind is against her. Means the ball doesn't fly on the person this side so much. For Alexandrova, she's got to try and get a little bit more spin on her shots. Big point from Tsurenko, winning the baseline battle. Alexandrova could perhaps just take a step forward, a little bit closer to the baseline. Got caught out a few times there, reaching for it. So 5-2, 2 points away. Alexandrova have 2 serves here. Big serve. Oh, it's a miss from Alexandrova. Not an easy shot there. And with that error, it's 3 match points for Lesya Tsurenko, who has lost her last 2 tiebreakers, one to Paula Badosa at the US Open in a 3-set loss. The other one to Rakhimova in that almost 4-hour match in Budapest. But here she is, the first of 3 match points. Well played, Alexandrova, fighting for her Portoroz campaign here. 1 save, 2 to come. We saw Elena Rybakina save a match point yesterday. Wimbledon champion making into round 2. And a sweeping forehand return sets up an easy winner. So both serves Tsurenko wiped out. And now we're back on serve. Oh, it's a double fault. It's the first of the sets for Ekaterina Alexandrova. And she hands the match to Lesya Tsurenko, who's now won all 4 encounters with her opponent today. And all of them have remarkably been in straight sets. It's Tsurenko's 3rd win over a